Well, hello everybody. Once again, it's me, Kenobi again. One Kenobi at that, and we're in Kenobi's Kitchen, episode 10. So now this is the first time I'm doing a YouTube video because a friend of mine told me that it's best to do that there. So now, this time around, what I'm going to do is the before and after. And when you do the before and after, you can see the difference. Now this is the before. I'm cooking spare ribs. Okay. Flip this over real quick. Boom. Bing. Ping. Boom. Bing. Okay, now the spare ribs I did right now, you can see the before and after. See, this is the before, how I season my ribs up just nice. And say, number, this is the before, and this will be how the after looks like. Which I still gotta put these back in the oven for another half hour, because it takes an hour for me to do the perfect things at the same time. So, so what I'm going to do is put this glove on, so I can put this back into the stove right there, so I won't burn myself. Therefore, and now how I prep my meats and stuff like that. I usually do different things, but I normally have two main ingredients that I use, or seasonings that I use. And right now, let's look at the seasons right now. See, for starters, you can see the kitchen right there. I get this guy right there. He's my number 2 guy. I love this brand of sazon because it's a little bit better than Goya, in my belief. But I don't downplay them because, dun that's my main guy right there, Goya with the adobo. Now I buy the all-purpose seasons with the pepper with it, so therefore it has everything you need. So there's no extra stuff you have to put in there unless it's necessarily did so. And we're gonna look at the cabinet. Let's you know again. Have my salt, my Cormick black pepper. I have my premium soy sauce by Lee Kum Kee. And to me, this brand is pretty good though, because a lot of people don't know about this because they good. Since we cooking Chinese spare ribs, I got the Chinese barbecue sauce that goes with it. So you can see the picture of the ribs looking nice and juicy. And this is char siu sauce, if I'm getting the name correct, known as, again, Chinese barbecue sauce. And they have a best chili pepper sauce right there, see? Chili garlic sauce. This is waving, because now you got your garlic and you got your spices there. Again, you see how it's the same brand that I buy. You guys may have different tastes of brands, but to me, this is the brand that I go to. Then boom, go back up there again. Look, we got my Cajun seasoning. Let's move it to the side. Got my turmeric, which how I get these brands, and you can get these brands in Brooklyn by the Food Bazaar on Flushing, if I'm not mistaken. And then I got my ground white pepper, which this is wavy. And then I got my key food version of cayenne pepper. Again, keep my key food flavored curry powder and crushed red peppers. Now I'm gonna do something that you guys never, I don't think you guys ever did though, but right there, boom, I have oxtail seasoning, Jamaican style, because usually I make oxtails and this is the stuff that I use. As you can see, again, the same brand, but in ginger powder, which is also good if you're making like stuff to eat and to get rid of the colds and stuff. And jerk seasoning, the natural one right there, which everything's look real smooth. And normally when I cook different meats and stuff like that, I use those type of seasonings because I like to do things on the fly, but at the same time, I like to do new things and correct different stuff or taste texture. There you go. So again, let's look at the last time on the prepared ribs. And normally what I do with this is I take a plastic bag, as so. See, as so. And what I do is that I stuff the meat in there, pause. Because once you stuff all the meat in the bag, or the necessary amount of pieces you want, so, well, lost train of thought. Okay, there you go. So therefore, when you season it, it's an easy method. To me, it's an easy method that you can do it quick. And at the same time, you don't have to really dirty your hands. You got some people, they don't like dirtying their hands for some odd reason, so that means can't cook. So if a person complains about, "Oh, my hands are dirty, da da da," that means that person cannot cook. And if it was a man, and if it's a woman, you gotta dump the bitch. Yeah, you put the bag in there, and you put the meat, and you shake it up for a good couple of minutes so it gets this type of color right there. If you get it to this color orange or a little bit darker than like a reddish orange, then you did a good job. And then after that, you just basically put it there, and then you cook. Normally, I cook things for an hour because basically it takes an hour. And what I normally do is that I do a countdown. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, 10 in the morning. If I'm cooking something 10 in the morning, I put it in 10 in the morning, or maybe a little couple of minutes after 10, let's say 10:05 most. And then you count a half hour to that. So 10:05 would be 10:35. You go to the oven, you flip it over, and then you let it cook in for another half hour. So twice the meat has been flipped over and it's thoroughly cooked on both sides for a literally 1 hour. And that's the best method I use to do so. So anyway, if there's any more questions you need to ask or anything that you think that I can help you kick up your food and all that, holla at me. Also, too, is I also sell plates for $5 depending on what type of food you want. Like, it's like any meat. Since I'm Hispanic, I cook my rice and beans, with my little vegetables on the side. So once again, this is Kenobi's Kitchen, episode 10, but this is the first time I put it on YouTube, so YouTube purposes, this is my first video. Okay then, bye.